to that. And the other thing is there's been all this Twitter kind of blow up on a scandal to do with a Quran reciter, Fatih. So I thought, acha, ye ka ho raha hai? What this one? You nutty. So, okay, let's take a quick look at some of these. Shall we look at the Fatih thing first? Go on then. So, people, this is what was going on. There were all of these things on social media. There's this thing, please protect your Muslim sisters from this man. Apparently, they were saying, look, the problem is, though, how do we know whether, it's because people do. There was this one, hello, I'm from the ISB community. Fatih was a young boy, young adult. I think a lot of these were from many years ago. So they seem to be going back, I think, even up to 8 years ago, some of them. He was rumored to do things in the closet. I don't know what the closet thing is all about, but so it mentions, so some people obviously jumping to defend Fatih, speaking from Sultan Fatih, who we've come to Fatih here, who's also on a liberation campaign. He's also, in liberation Arabic, they call it Fatah, opening. He's also opening, but he's opening. These ones are other openings, this one. The opening, there's one opening, they say Fatah, where you conquer but it means Fatah means to open, but a city like Istanbul and the Hagia Sophia. And then here, this Fatih, from Fatih to Fatih, and all the Fatah in between. So if we go back, so somebody's saying, what is the hukam? There's a great wisdom in why 2 women witnesses can be one. Any. Right, so you've got this. Somebody said, so still together, so you can see people claiming all these kind of things. I don't know, they're throwing very harsh allegations around, like even rape. I mean, I don't know if these things are true, because how do you know? If they are, they really should, do something. They should, if it's criminal the way they're stating, there should be a police investigation, really. Somebody has said, what terrifies me is Ikna. Every year I bump into many of his rape victims. This piece of beep has fled the US. He's not even allowed to work here. I mean, and then there was this one, which I don't know if you can, to add on Fatih, when I was in high school in 2012, 2013, I think that means like the college equivalent. So basically, she's saying he used to pick her up from the house. They used to hang out. They'd go to a parking garage, and they'd do physical things. I let him kiss me at first, but then he started getting really rough with my breasts.
Oh my God!
So he's saying, well, he started getting rough with the breasts and left bruises on them. But then she, I think, continued to meet up with him, and then she was manipulated. And you see, the problem is, this is the issue, that there obviously are a lot of grievances going on, because this had really blown up on Twitter, this whole thing with Fatih. And as a bystander, it's really difficult to say, well, who's telling the truth, who isn't. I would feel that, look, many things are feasible, that people do unfortunately get up to stuff. Now, I wanted to make a point here. In my perspective, what people do in their private life is their private life. I wouldn't personally, as a person, be interested in kind of these, like a witch hunt for people in their private lives. Because that is exactly what it is. It's a private life. So if a person, even if he was having, let's say he was meeting these girls and they're doing things, to me, that if it's two consensual, consenting adults doing something, whether it's right or wrong from an Islamic perspective, but it's nobody's business from that angle. The issue is, however, about abuse. Now, if there is abuse, I would always say, look, report it. It has to go through the proper channels. And if there has, people were saying there's been rapes and things like this and drugging, and I don't know, but they need to report these things. The other thing is that, look, don't go to meet people in, private car parks if you're not there to do that. you know, because look, Fatih, from what I know, I've met him many years ago, and obviously at that time he was very young. But he just seemed like a lad. Really, he didn't seem. I don't know about now, but that time he didn't really know much about Islam except he was a reciter of the Quran, and he had an amazing voice when it came to recitation. But I don't think at that stage he really knew much about like the rules or Sharia, or he wasn't a scholar by any stretch. Now, if he's an amazing reciter of the Quran, like Sheikh Sudais, let's say, Sheikh Sudais is one of my favorites from Saudi Arabia. And I say, wow, I want to meet Sheikh Sudais. And Sheikh Sudais says, okay, meet me in this alleyway at the back. I would be like,
stupid, I'm not going to let you get the check.
I'd be like, alleyway kya hai? Why are we meeting in an alleyway? Why are we meeting in a... Because I don't understand, when you want to meet with a Quran reciter, what do you want to do? Because it's not even like, okay, people might say, oh, he's a scholar and I want to ask him a question. What do you ask Quran reciters? I don't know. Like, what do people ask Quran reciters? They ask them to recite some Quran. It's like, Ustad, yaar, Surah Qaf par lijiye. No, not here. In that alleyway over there. But this one. I mean, so I would say that. And the other thing, look, what I want to say as well here is, look, these people as well, I do have an issue with imams and these people using that card to kind of gain entry. Because what we've got a community, unfortunately. And I say to people, look, religious communities, these kind of religious people are the worst people, honestly. I find them the most toxic communities. I would never be a part of, these people usually all have mental health issues. I'm telling you, they're not normal. This kind of, what I mean by religious, the kind of ones that are in groups and they do all this stuff, and they're usually, not all, but the majority of them, you will find, are like weird people. They're not your kind of average kind of people, and that's guys and girls. They're like obsessive, OCD kind of type, autistic type. They're like strange. And this is not against autistic people, but as though they're autistic because of, unfortunately, their religion, which really is, Islam is never meant to do something like Islam is meant to make your life more easy and comfortable. But yeah, so what happens is a lot of these women sometimes, or not women, these girls, they sometimes have this vision that, oh, mashallah, I'm gonna marry some guys and he's so Islamic, and mashallah, we're gonna wake up and read the Tahajjud together, mashallah, and we're gonna be we're gonna be doing Umrah together, mashallah, and he's gonna be taking my kids to the masjid, mashallah, and it's all gonna be all nur and barakatim min as-samawati wal ard, and subhanallah, from here Surah Al-Baqarah is being recited, and from there Surah Al-An'am, and mashallah, I wake up and it's wadduha, and I go to sleep and it's wal-layli, wow. It's amazing, mashallah. Be Saleh. This, you need to wake up. That never happens, okay? And these guys, these imams, and these people are as Turkey and as, you know, sexually obsessed as every other kind of guy out there that you are trying to avoid, for example. And in many cases, some of these people are worse. And they know sometimes that girls have these weird religious fantasies of like, oh, so they then play on that to say, well, like they pretend that they might be like a relationship. And oh, yeah, and they sell them that dream. And because they know that women are like, some of those girls are like, oh my God, that dream, I want to be, oh my God, on my honeymoon, I want to be in Mecca. That is the most stupid thing, personally, to me, that I've ever heard. That
Stupid. I'm not gonna.
Why on earth would you want to be on a honeymoon in Mecca? That's like almost borderline blasphemous to me. But anyway, so it's like, oh yeah, oh, we're gonna get married. Oh yeah, the honeymoon. So it's gonna be, let's say, moments of passion and like unbridled sex and all this kind of stuff. So where should we do it? I know, yaar, Makkah, yaar. Let's go to Makkah and then do all this there. Acha, 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 shabash.
Dajjal with a small d. Or we can say mini Dajjals, no problem. But there is one Dajjal with a big D.
Ya Sheikh Yasser Qadi with the big D. So this is the issue, yeah. So I would say that these imams play on this as well. And then they sometimes lure in certain people. So look, you have to beware of these people if they start playing that card. Okay, if they start trying to say, oh, we could do the tahajjud together, we could do this together. And the girls that have these visions as well, they need to kind of be they need to wake up out of this. Oh, we're gonna read the tahajjud together. We're gonna wake up, for God's sake. If you want to read the tahajjud, read it. You don't need to fantasize this whole thing. So this is, unfortunately, these are just problems that are there in unfortunately, our Muslim communities. So I do hope, if there are criminal issues, always report them. Okay, but at the same time, don't have these fantasies, and these imams who are selling these fantasies because they know there's a clientele, there's a puntership for it. They are, as far as I'm concerned, absolutely despicable, because they are giving Islam a bad name. See, to me, it's not their personal lives. Like, they may just have, so for example, he may have just known a girl, not because he's not selling her a dream and she's not buying a dream, she just knew him and she may have been his girlfriend. To me, that's their personal life. That's nobody's business. Whether it's right or wrong Islamically is up to them. But this, using Islam, this is the problem. Okay, so yeah,